Welcome to BCFD's Candidate Physical Screening. This video will demonstrate 10 exercises that must be completed successfully in order to be further considered for recruitment in Boone County Fire Protection District. To begin testing, each participant will don an SCBA with a full 30-minute bottle. This will simulate added weight a fire service member will encounter when dressed in full personal protective equipment. The overall test is not timed. However, forward progress must be maintained throughout the entire test. Warnings will be given if participants rest during an exercise or if forward progress is halted. One warning will be allowed during each exercise. A second warning constitutes failure of the test. Candidates will be allowed to retake one and only one skill if it was failed previously. In the first portion of the test, the applicant will be placed in a blacked out mask and will breathe off of the regulator for 60 seconds without difficulty. Removing the mask before time is called or distressed breathing will be grounds for failure. In the second exercise, the candidate will crawl on hands and knees from coupling to coupling and back of a 50-foot section of hose while continuing to wear the blacked out mask. Next, the participant will remove the facepiece and move to a stair climber machine. The exercise will begin with a 20-second warm-up period at 50 steps per minute. Then the rate will be increased to 60 steps per minute for an additional 3 minutes, making the total time 3 minutes 20 seconds. Stepping off the machine before time expires will result in failure. In the hose advance exercise, the applicant must pull a 100-pound sled a distance of 40 feet while crawling on hands and knees. Forward progress must be maintained. Warnings will be issued if the candidate attempts to stand up to pull the sled. Next up is victim rescue. During this exercise, each participant must drag a 165-pound simulated victim for 40 feet while walking backwards. Stopping or dropping the straps will not be allowed. Quick readjustments in your grip is permitted. The next exercise is simulating forcible entry. Each candidate will use a 12-pound sledgehammer to strike a 5 square inch target on a rubber tire. The hammer must strike the target 10 times. During the entire exercise, the tool must maintain the height of the table. Placing the tool on the ground before the 10 strikes constitutes failure. This exercise is used to mimic CPR. Each applicant will perform 2 minutes of continuous chest compressions on a simulated victim. Prior knowledge of how to perform CPR is not needed. Each applicant will be allowed a maximum time of 10 seconds for stoppages during the exercise. Exceeding this time will result in failure. The following 2 tests are the EMS equipment carry and the EMS stretcher lift. These tests will be combined in a continuous sequence. To begin, the applicant will carry a loaded EMS bag and AED. The equipment will then be placed on the floor. The stretcher will then be lifted to a height of 4 feet or until level for 10 seconds. Next, the EMS equipment will be lifted from the floor and placed on a 4-foot shelf. Lastly, the equipment will then be carried back to the original location. During the ladder raise, each participant will raise a 24-foot extension ladder using the halyard. Controlled ascents and descents will be maintained with a hand-over-hand technique. In testing ceiling hook operations, each candidate will begin by pulling down on a pike pole requiring 80 pounds of force. The pole must be pulled a distance of 2 feet 10 times. Lastly, the candidate will lift a pike pole requiring 60 pounds of force 2 feet for 10 repetitions. This concludes the candidate physical screening demonstration. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you.